You might be thinking that knowing what calories are and how to manipulate the energy balance equation is great, but how do you go about applying this to your current lifestyle? Knowing how many calories you consume on a daily basis is a good starting point. It allows you to see how many calories are required to either maintain or gain weight. For example, if you track your calorie intake this week whilst also weighing yourself, so once at the start and again after 7 days, you might find that your weight didn't change eating 2,300 calories each day. This would mean that in order to maintain your weight, with your current activity level, you would need around 2,300 calories on average. The tricky part is that it usually takes longer than a week of consistently tracking your calories in order to accurately paint a picture of how many calories you need. And even then, it's likely that your activity levels will change and your hormone levels will fluctuate, but it's a good place to start. You can use mobile apps to track your calorie intake. I personally like to use MyFitnessPal, although there are many to choose from. The benefit of using an app is that it's relatively simple to do, and most of us are on our phone at some point during the day. Using MyFitnessPal as an example, let me run through how to track your food. Starting with breakfast, by clicking Add Food, you are able to search through a vast library of foods. In this case, I'll search for my oats, set the serving size, and add this to my diary. I'll repeat this process for the rest of my breakfast items. You can use these foods to create meals, so if you have the same breakfast multiple times a week, rather than having to log these individually on a daily basis, you can quickly add it as a meal. There is also the option to scan a barcode, making it even easier for you to find that specific food item in the library. What I also like to do is create recipes. This way I always have my favourite recipes to hand, and it also makes it easier to log meals you may have made in bulk. Through creating a recipe, you can set how many servings that recipe creates, rather than having to individually portion this out each day. I have a couple of tips for ensuring that you are tracking your calories as accurately as possible. First of all, get yourself a digital food scale and start to measure out your portions. This can be really helpful as you start to understand portion sizes. Don't worry though, you won't have to measure out your food forever, but it can help initially with portion control. That being said, for lifestyle clients, it isn't going to be necessary to weigh out your spinach to the closest gram. Of course, with high density foods, so foods high in calories, it is going to be helpful to track these as accurately as possible. But don't cry about not measuring your peppers before chucking them in your stir fry. Track your food as and when you consume it. This can help to ensure that you don't forget about things that you may have snacked on during the day. It has also been proven to promote mindful eating. I know this might be difficult to grasp initially, but try not to become number focused. Remember, the idea of tracking your calorie intake is to almost budget for all foods. So if you want to have a chocolate bar, have the chocolate bar, but just account for it in your daily calorie target. It's absolutely okay to go over your calorie target from time to time. Don't let this discourage you and roll into the next day. Just pick it back up and carry on as normal. It's what we do over a long period of time which counts. So having a few days here and there, consuming more calories, in the grand scheme of things, will minimally affect your progress. Of course, if you are struggling with this, that's what my job as a personal trainer is, to help encourage and guide you through making lifestyle changes. Watch the next video to find out more on macronutrients.